Hey guys, today we have a fun day of Python programming. Today we will be learning about functions. So, what is a function? We've already seen things like our convenient print statement where we can print anything to the console, right? There we go. We got hello. So, this is a function. Alright, today we will be learning how to make our own. To start off, the keyword for a function is def. Think of it like definition, like you're defining your own function. So I want to make a function. It will be called sum. I hope that gives away the purpose of this function, but if not, pretty much what we're going to be doing is finding the sum of two numbers. So I'm going to initialize two variables here. Then you'll see, then I'll explain to you what I'm exactly doing. We're going to print sum1 plus sum2. Alright, what am I doing here? So this over here is the name that I'm giving to my function. Now these are called parameters. We have seen parameters before. Let's bring out our print statement. Now anything we put inside here is a parameter. I can put hello world. This is a string parameter. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm creating two parameters. See, if I hover over it, it'll even say parameter up here. The data type is any because, Python is dynamic. You can use any data type. And now what is this comma? This comma is pretty much telling Python that there is going to be two parameters inside this function. So how do we use this? If we run this, you'll see nothing happens. Nothing is executed. Well, actually, something is executed. Nothing is printed to the console because we didn't ask for anything to be printed to the console. But what if I wanted to find the sum of 5 and 9? We already know this is 14, but let's see Python solve it. There we go. We got 14. But what really happened here? So when I called this sum function, what happened is Python took number 5 and assigned it to the sum1 variable, and it took number 9 and assigned it to the sum2 variable. After that, Python proceeded to do all the calculations that we had put inside the sum function, which means this right over here. We asked for Python to print sum1 plus sum2. We're asking for the sum, and that's what Python did. Now, here's another cool thing functions can do instead. Sometimes we don't want Python to print something. We want Python to return something. Return sum1 plus sum2. Now, let's see what happens when we run it. Again, nothing happens. The reason for that is when we use the return method, the return keyword, instead of doing a normal print statement, what's happening is it's kind of giving a value to the function when we call it. So instead of this printing sum1 plus sum2, it actually assigns the value to sum1, to sum of 5 of 9. And when we put the print statement around it, we get 14. What's the purpose of that though? Let me show you. So right now I'm going to bring back my print statements. And what if I wanted to print sum of 5 and 4 plus 3? I get an error. Alright, what if I used return instead? Look, I don't get an error. So this return statement can really be helpful. Let's look at some other things. I want to make another function. This is gonna be called greater than. Alright, and pretty much let's just name it greater. Pretty much what it's going to do is get two numbers, so num1 and num2, and it's going to see if num1 is bigger than num2. So let's do a simple return key. Let's use the return keyword again over here, and let's return a Boolean value. So return num1 is greater than num2. Pretty much what this is doing is it's checking if num1 is greater than num2. If it is true, then we will get true returned. If it's false, then we'll get false returned. Let's quickly see what happens when we do 5 and 4. Nothing, again, because this is not printing anything. Let's print this. And we get true. What would happen if we flipped around the variables? We would get false. What does that mean? What does that mean we can do? Well, we can use this for conditions. Remember our handy dandy if statements, or even while loops, or for loops, not for loops, just while loops. That's where this will come in handy. Return statements can be super useful. There are some times where you might want to use print statements, but I usually see myself using return more often. And yeah, that right there is the basics of function.